See, making content is something that I have done for over the last 10 years for a majority of the clients that I work with and now myself. And the reason that content has become such a path forward for me is because I knew that being behind the camera as a video agency owner and as a creative was only gonna get me so far until I got around on the other side of the camera and really had a message to share with the rest of the world. So in this video, I wanna share 5 hard truths that I came to the realization of when I started making content for myself. And I don't make this video so that I deter you from starting your own content creation journey, whether it is you're an entrepreneur or a business owner or just wanna become a content creator and hopefully make some money one day over the internet. So I don't make this video to scare you off and deter you from starting. It's just really to share some of the pitfalls and some of the realizations that I had to come to when I started making content for myself. So the first hard truth out there is just realizing that nobody is going to really care about what it is you have to say when you first get started. But what I also realized that helped me keep getting past that hump of coming to that realization is just that showing up is the most important thing that you can do for yourself and for the content. As you show up, your muscle gets built and you get better and you give people more of a reason to keep coming back when you put yourself out there more. Hard truth number 2, and I kind of alluded to it in number 1 there, was not really knowing what to make. So when I first started making content, I got in front of the camera and I started making long form YouTube content. And everything that I had been known to do was to tell stories about what it is that I know, right? So I would tell stories about my past experiences, making video content, being a videographer, and different things like that. But that really didn't resonate with the people that I was actually trying to speak to and inevitably sell my services to as a videographer, and that was for business owners. So I had to kind of make a switch there when it came to the messaging and what I was really creating. So if you go back and watch a lot of my early YouTube content, you're gonna see a lot of stuff about camera gear and lighting and angles and different things like that. And to a certain extent, that is sort of relevant to what I'm doing currently in helping other business owners, entrepreneurs with their own content and their own content journey. But at the beginning, I really didn't see that as the correlation there. So, it's really important to hone in on what kind of content that you want to make. When I first started making content, I knew I wasn't going to be a trend follower, right? So when I first started making long form content, the short form content game was just kind of in its infancy, right? TikTok had barely been around when I first started, I think about 2019 or so, when I started making my videos, but short form content wasn't what it is now in 2024. But I knew that I wasn't going to be some kind of trend follower or just doing something like gear reviews or different things like that about camera equipment, just because I didn't want to do what everybody else was doing. I just wanted to divulge the knowledge that I had and see where it kind of took me. I really just wanted to educate people with what it is that I knew and see what people out there would resonate with the message that I was giving. But it was in going through that I realized that my message also needed to change throughout this process to really speak to the people and meet people where they were at with what they were trying to do with the things that I was trying to teach them. And number 3 was probably one of the most difficult ones, and one of the ones that I will say that you just have to dive headfirst to doing when you start making video content, and that is actually getting in front of the camera and learning how to speak on camera. I still to this day am not the best on camera. In going through this video, I probably messed up half a dozen times this far, and I have restructured the way that I want to say stuff, but that's the power of editing and how I can make myself look the way that I want to and sound the way that I want to when it comes to the final product of the video. But really getting on this end of the camera, it's a fear that I think almost everybody has, right? I think there's a special part of the population that when you're a young child, you are not camera shy, right? You actually really want to be in front of the camera and really want people to take pictures of you and take videos of you. But I would say a vast majority of the population is not like that. So really overcoming that fear and literally just taking the plunge to get around to the other side of the camera was one of the biggest things that I kind of had to mentally overcome. And there's no dipping your toe in that water and just trying, and you just literally have to commit to doing it. I know that I've been planning this video for probably about a week now, and it's not going to be anything crazy and extravagant, but it's just, something that I finally had to sit down and say like, yeah, I'm gonna make some long form content for you guys out there and hopefully get you to a point where you can tell yourself, yeah, if he can do it, I can do it, right? So what I want you to realize realize is that you don't have to beat yourself up over the way that you sound, because like I said previously, editing is another magic side of the video creation process, and you can cut out all of the stuff that you don't want in there. And if it makes you sound funny at the beginning, then that might be something that you just have to work on and go through. But like the old gym analogy is that we don't get better until we keep doing it over and over and over again. And if you are somebody out there that wants to say that, you know, social media or video content or something like that is going to work for them as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, then you really have to put the time and the effort, or you have to pay for the knowledge and the service to actually make that happen for you. But a lot of people, they don't want to jump headfirst into paying an exorbitant amount of money for somebody to come in and shoot, you know, high quality video for them, because they're just not even sure if the whole process is right for them. So the easiest thing that you can do is literally just take your phone out, put it on something, point it at you, and start talking, right? That's the easiest way that you can start flexing that muscle. But really practicing how you want to speak and how you want to carry yourself is going to be the way that you're going to get better with your on-camera presence. And number 4, another hard truth was I vastly underestimated the amount of time and effort it actually took to make the quality of video that I actually wanted to produce. So there are all sort of levels to this, right? Like we see out there every day that there are these nice, polished, very good looking pieces of content. But then we also see kind of a raw and a real version of what people are putting up and out. And I give a lot of props to those people that keep showing up for themselves in the most minimalistic way, or a way that, you know, might not be from a tech side the best thing for them, or the best look, or their image quality might not be the best. But I give those people a certain level of props, because it's not easy, right? It's not easy to sit down, really think about and script out something that you want to talk about, right? And it's just as equally as hard to put something up and out that you know that there's other people out there that are light years ahead of you, or maybe even people that are just starting out but have some kind of knowledge about cameras and about camera settings and have access to these things that give them a higher perceived value for what it is that they're producing. But I think the ones that just consistently keep doing it, even if it is with just an iPhone camera or just, you know, some sort of cell phone or something like that, I think those people have an understanding of what it takes to be great with video content. And even though I had been on the backside of the camera and I knew everything about like how to, you know, pre-produce a video and actually go and make a video, I was doing these things for other people. I wasn't really doing them for myself, right? And in the beginning, when you do these things for yourself, there is no instant return. There is no somebody paying you for your time. There is no instant lever that you can pull to say that you get some sort of satisfaction from it, right? You'll post it and it will get just a few views, or maybe a couple of dozen, or what have you, whatever it might be. But the way that you have to lock in mentally to creating video content is just keep going. And really understanding what the path forward looks like for your video content is another huge thing that's going to keep you on that path. I can't tell you how many times over the past 3 years or so, all of the content that I produce for myself has changed its style, its cadence, the way that I go about shooting it and making it. Everything changes. So it's just really important that if you start this journey with video content for yourself as a business owner or an entrepreneur, that you stick with it, because you are going to kick yourself a lot more in the future when you realize just how achievable it actually was, than to say that, you know, your business didn't have the success that it could have had because of other reasons beyond your control. Everything is in your control when it comes to making your own video content. It's just about you continually doing it. And hard truth number 5 that I had to overcome and deal with was all of the quote unquote negative feedback that we all get as content creators. But in hindsight, and after looking back at it, I think the negative comments are actually only about 1% of the overall feedback that you end up getting from your video content. I get comments all the time on different videos when I talk about, you know, followers and different things like that, that I don't have a ton of followers, therefore I don't know what I'm talking about. And honestly, I think that's kind of a ridiculous frame to come from, because with that mindset, we technically shouldn't be making video content until until we have a bunch of followers to say that we know what we're talking about. If that was the case, then nobody would ever start, right? So when you first start, you have to have some semblance of, I don't like to say fake it till you make it, because fake it till you make it, is a mindset that you can get stuck in, right? But it's trying and failing is honestly what it is. And the more time that you put into the research and the understanding of the craft that you're doing, and creating video content is its own craft. Like, you're an entrepreneur, you have your business, but creating video content is its own craft, that if you're going to step into this realm as an entrepreneur and as a business owner, you have to understand that. Yeah, you're going to suck at making video content at the beginning. Yeah, you're going to get people that are going to tell you that you suck, right? But that is just a part of it. But I think the biggest frame shift about the negativity and the negative comments that I've gotten, I've come to realize that people who actually hate on you, right, they are only people that are lower in status than where you're currently at right now. So the way that I like to think about this is, if I get a negative comment from somebody, I know that that negativity from them is just coming from a place of jealousy, right? They are not where they actually want to be, and they see other people out here trying, right? And they feel like they need to put those people down. And this is going to happen no matter if you're an insurance salesman, maybe you just like cook, whatever it might be. You're a mom and you're trying to teach other moms about parenting and the different things that you do with twins or whatever it might be, right? You're going to have people that are going to come in and they're going to have their say, and they all have the right to have that say. You're putting yourself out there, you're being vulnerable on camera, they have all the right to stop and interact, whether it's negative or positive. But the frame shift, that if you just understand that their negativity is usually coming from a place of where they just don't feel like they're far along in life, I think that's the number one thing that helped me overcome and look past all the negativity. Generally, when I see somebody out there being negative like that, I try to figure out where that's coming from, right? Like, I don't like to get in fights or in arguments in my comments, but I do try to figure out why they're coming at me like that. And I actually have turned in negative comments into positive conversation. There's always a root to somebody's negativity, but you just can't let it be the thing that stops you and prevents you from keep going on in your video content creation journey. So those are the biggest and hardest truths that I had to learn in my content creation journey when I started roughly about 5 years ago. And again, I made this video not to deter you from starting and making video content for yourself, but I did it so that you can hopefully shift your mindset around video content and about video content creation. Video has become its own sector of a marketplace. There's going to be people out there that are going to be able to do video content for you if you're somebody that doesn't want to take the time to learn how to do it for themselves. But it is a feasible thing that you as an entrepreneur, you as a business owner, that you can do for yourself. And I would just recommend out there that if you are starting out by yourself, that you get in communities and you get into places that are going to help you fast track that process and make it that much simpler for you, so that you are not having to wonder, am I doing this right? Am I doing something wrong? Or whatever it might be that's going to knock you off of that horse, that's going to stop spreading the message about what it is that you want to say. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure that you subscribe here on YouTube, and make sure that you go follow me over on Instagram at @the_Evan Andrews, where I'm dropping a bunch of little nuggets over there about mindset, about content, and about how you as a business owner or an entrepreneur can successfully be a content creator and help your digital marketing in selling your products, your services, or whatever it is that you do in this life. So if you got some value out of this video, again, go subscribe, follow me on Instagram, and I will see you in the next one.